It's time for this week's episode of Brandon's Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon's Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon's Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Georgia Bulldogs assistant women's golf coach, Coach Caroline Westrup. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to start coaching in college women's golf?
So coaching has always been something that's been on my mind since I was young. My dad coached the Swedish national team and the Norwegian national team for golf. So kind of grew up watching him coach a lot of great players. So I just had that as a plan B whenever my professional career took an end. I knew I wanted to get into coaching. So
what was it like, obviously, playing at Florida State?
It was probably four of my best years of my life. I had an awesome time at Florida State, learned a lot about myself and just moving from Sweden from my parents and coming over to United States. So learned a lot about myself, but then also was able to take my golf to the next level.
What were some of your biggest accomplishments during your time as a college athlete at Florida State?
So I would say, being a four-time All-American is probably the number one, and then four-time All-ACC, but also success with the team as well. I've always been a team player, so being here, that big highlights of the career there.
What was it like, obviously, getting to put on the Seminoles gold uniform?
Wearing the Seminole logo is it's big pride. Absolutely. It's like representing your country almost for me. Like when you represent your country, or Florida State was like you're representing not just yourself, you're representing the university, your coaches, and your teammates and the whole athletic department itself. So big, like goosebumps every time, when you teed it up at a tournament.
How was it like, obviously, playing in the ACC, playing against Carolina, NC State, and Duke's golf team?
So ACC is a great conference with a lot of good teams. And during my time, Duke was dominating both, not just in the ACC, but nationally as well. So be able to play against those players almost every tournament was a very good matchup.
How is it like, obviously, learning under the coach, Amy Bunn?
So Amy was unfortunately not my head coach. She was my assistant coach, but only for half a year. It was Coach Debbie Dillman, but Amy still had a big impact on my career when she was there. I was very sad to see her leave, but now she's back there and she's done a tremendous job with the Florida State golf program. So very nice to see. And we still have very good communication with each other. So
what was that like, obviously, playing for the Sweden national team at the age of 14?
So yeah, I was fortunate to be able to be picked onto the national team on an early age, and Swedish national team still does an amazing job taking younger golfers under their wing, if you want to say it like that, and educate them in everything from conditioning to nutrition to how to practice, how course management. And I think that's the reason why you see a lot of successful Swedish golfers out there right now. They do a very good job.
What was it like, obviously, playing professional golf and playing in the LPGA and also the European Tour?
So turning pro, that was what I always accomplished or wanted to accomplish, was to play on the LPGA Tour since I was a little kid. So when that happened, when I made it to the LPJ, it was a dream come true, and kind of almost like, I can't believe it's actually happened. Every hour I've spent on a practice facility and all the hard work I've done has finally, paid off. And it was amazing to be able to travel around the world and throughout United States as well. I think I've added up to 30 countries now, and I think 44 states. So you get to see a lot and be able to be a part of different cultures and meet amazing people throughout my career. So it was 9 amazing years, put it like that.
What was that like, obviously getting to travel the world and get to see different countries while playing professionally?
I mean, sometimes you don't get to see a lot more than the golf course because kind of you're off site from the civilization. But some of the times though, you were able, for example, like when we played in Dubai, we live in the middle of Dubai. So you get to be able to see the culture and eat the food and just experience the country itself or the city. So that was very nice. A lot of times though, now, like when I look back, I'm like, I need to go back there because I want to see more of the country and not just a golf course.
Well, what was that feeling like when you got inducted into the Athletes Hall of Fame for Florida State?
That was also a dream come true. When I received the phone call that I was one of the inductees for 2019, and be able to have my name put next to all the other amazing athletes that's come out of Florida State. It was a dream come true for sure.
Of course, talking about obviously your time at Georgia, what was that like when you got that phone call that you joined the staff for Georgia?
It was amazing. This is my first college, job. I worked at IMG before, and it was very cool to call Athens my home now. I love Athens and the team and the university itself. So a huge honor when they offered me the job. Absolutely.
What was that feeling like of coming to Athens after obviously playing as a golfer on Athens turf?
So like you said, I mean, my first college win was actually here on this golf course. And I have my trophy back here in the background. It's I kind of didn't realize that until later. I was like, wow, this was actually my first college win here. So it's kind of like cliche that I'm back here now and coaching the girls and on that golf course that I won on. So very, very neat and very happy to be back here. Great.
How has it been coming back full circle, playing in Athens and now coaching there?
I mean, it was in 2006, so it was a little bit a while ago, but very, very cool to be back and then be able to, experience the city too with my family. Same thing there when you come and play a tournament in college, you kind of just see the golf course. So I got to see a little bit more of Athens now.
What does a typical game day look like as an assistant coach?
So on a normal one, we have individual team practice Thursdays. So we do a little bit of different things individually, what they need to work on. And then when the team is not here, I have my office hours like now, chatting with you, for example, or compliance meetings or emails or recruiting. And that's a typical week.
What is it like, obviously, going to tournaments and being a coach, coaching against some of the teams that you might have even played as a college athlete?
It's fun to be at tournaments because a lot of the coaches that are at universities right now, we're actually still are still there since I played college golf. So it's fun to see them again, and that they're still at the same university. But tournaments are my favorite part about coaching. That's when you really get to see what the girls have worked on, and they've worked hard, and to see if they can, handle the pressure and compete. And I tried to help them as much as I can.
Was it like obviously coaching in some of those tournaments where you get to see other teams besides your SEC schools?
It's always good. I mean, I think it's very important to get matched up against the West Coast teams as well, because when it comes down to nationals, that's when you will have all the different types of teams. So I think it's important to and Coach Josh Brewer, who's the head coach, he's done a very good job with our tournament schedule to make sure that we have good matchups against different schools.
Was it like obviously getting to see some of those teams that are very competitive, like UCLA?
Always good. I mean, we know where we are at, but it's, like I said earlier, very good to get a good feel for how they're playing, because we always just see their results on GolfStat and how the West Coast teams are doing. So be able to fly out to Stanford, for example, in the fall and play a lot of the West Coast teams. It's very good.
What are some of the traditions that you've helped implement for the Georgia Bulldogs golf program?
So I've only been here since August. So I don't know if I have like implemented any traditions just yet. I think Coach Brewer has done a very good job and I kind of follow his lead with that. So I wouldn't say I have done anything right now to implement any traditions, because every school has their traditions already. So you don't want to kind of mess with that. It's like you kind of follow them. Same thing at Florida State. You have your traditions.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've helped build upon for Georgia Bulldogs golf program?
So, I mean, I try with my my experience as playing on the highest level. I try to help the team with creating a winning culture, but then also the understanding of hard work and good practice. And it takes time and be able to handle pressure. But then also, of course, it's important to have the camaraderie around with the team and creating a good team environment. It's very important.
What does the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to play college golf?
So obviously we cannot interact with them until their sophomore year of high school. However, we can go out and watch them. So me and Josh, we go out and watch younger girls just to, see our faces out early. So they know that we are interested in them. But then, so 15th of June of this sophomore year, we can finally contact them. And then you kind of stay in connection with them. And then we try for them to, commit to a visit. And then they come for a visit here, and they can come on an unofficial or official, and it will be players from all over the world. We have actually a Swedish player coming this weekend that we're very excited about. So you just try to stay in contact with them, and you have big competitions, other schools. But obviously it's about the right fit as well. You try to recruit players that have good characters and good manners, and not just golf, but school as well.
What's that like, obviously, for college golf, getting to recruit not just domestic players, but also international players too?
Yeah, I think it's very cool. I mean, I was able to come over here on a scholarship and be able to play college golf. And there's a lot of internationals that want to do the same. So they have some opportunities to come over here and play, but then also for the summer, I'm traveling over to Europe and watching our prospect for 24 and 25s over there.
What are some of the similarities and differences between obviously recruiting domestic players and international players?
I mean, it's about the same, I would say. I don't think we do anything differently, really. I mean, obviously when they come here, many people haven't heard of Athens, Georgia, first of all. They think Atlanta more than likely is the capital of Georgia. So they've heard of Atlanta, but might not have heard of Athens. So try to obviously educate them a little bit more about the university and the city and what we're trying to accomplish versus someone from America more than likely knows about University of Georgia a little bit more than an international player.
Of course, when the prospective student athlete comes on the official visit, what does that look like for those prospective student athletes?
So obviously we try to we've watched them play already, so we kind of know what type of golfer they are, but and we've talked to them prior, so we've gotten to know them pretty good, but still educate them more about the university and what we have here and what we can do for them to accomplish their goals. What our facilities looks like, the school, yeah, I mean, and have them make sure they have a good experience here.
What are some of your future plans as the assistant coach for Georgia Bulldogs?
So obviously we want to win a national championship. That's I always want to win. I hate losing. So, but no, just building a big winning program where you can see Georgia up in the top at all times.
What is it going to feel like, obviously, to get to play those competitive teams like Florida Gators, South Carolina, and Alabama that are in your conference?
Yeah, there are three very good teams. You just mentioned them. I mean, we get to play them very often since we're in the same conference. So it's always a good tournament when those three schools are there.
What advice would you give prospective student athletes that are in high school looking to play college golf?
So I would map out where you would like to go, but then also sometimes I think right now for high school they're very want to get the college done and want to pick their school, but I would tell them to enjoy the process and really take everything in and make sure that they pick the right college for them and not what their parents want or what their maybe friends want, because it's very easy to say okay, I'm here for golf and I want to make it to the LPGA, and then they pick a school that the academic might be super hard, and that can really ruin their career if they're not really there to be there for school, for example. So really take their time and make sure that they do their homework and pick the right school that fits them.
What advice would you give those college golfers looking to make it onto the LPGA tour?
So playing college golf and playing professional golf, it's very different. You've played against great college players your entire 4 years of your college career, but now you're playing against the best players in the world. So it can be a little starstruck when you first get out there. However, I would say to just, continue to believe in yourself. You have gotten to that point where you made the LPGA tour or the Epson tour, which is the tour underneath LPGA. So you've already done such a good job. So believe in yourself and make sure you stay committed and follow your path, because every path for every athlete is very different. And make sure you go your own path and not try to follow anybody else.
What advice would you give future college coaches looking to get started in coaching in college golf?
I would say, if you know that you don't want to turn professional and you're in college, talk to your coaches, first of all. There's a lot of grad assistant programs where you can combine school and also being a coach and kind of see if that's the path you want to go. I think that's a good first step to take. And then, definitely talk to your coaches about it. That's would be my first advice to take.
What advice would you give those former professional athletes that are golfers looking to transition from playing golf professionally to getting into college coaching?
That's also, a great way to go about it, because, for example, for me, I could have never seen myself going in to sit in an office from 9 to 5 after, first of all, being my own boss for 9 years and being outside all day. So I think it's been a very nice transition for me and still be able to be part of the sport that I love.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Georgia Bulldogs women's golf program at?
I'm on Instagram, and it's just my name, Caroline Westrup. That's really the only social media I have, actually.
Where can my listeners find the Georgia Bulldogs women's golf program at?
That's going to be on Georgia's website. So if you go to University of Georgia .edu and then go into athletics, it's called Bulldogs. You can find our roster and our schedule for the year.
Thank you again, Coach Caroline Westrup, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as the assistant women's golf coach for Georgia Bulldogs.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.